Thank you for Patreon now for donating to the Patreon. Hey guys, it's Vanity Ezel back with another Card Fight Vanguard Ezel on the Vanity weekly video. If you guys enjoyed, don't like, comment, subscribe, and donate to the Patreon. Let's get started, shall we? So, we have now started getting reviews from DBTO5, which has given us some really interesting information. Allows us to get a little background on dual clans. But, before we get into that, let's go ahead and finish up with some promos, shall we? First up today, we have Light Melody Charlet, grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base, auto when it's placed on rearguard circle from hand. If your Vanguard is a grade 3 or greater, counterboss 1, choose a song from your drop zone and you may put it to your hand. Okay, I think that's fair. You can use your songs as discard fodder now and still bounce them back to hand. So now you have discard fodder. My only thing is, why is this counterboss restrictive considering our only counter charger is back row center restrictive? So, I don't know why that's the case. I do think this card would be a lot better if songs were like normal orders or blitz orders instead of being just set orders, because then this thing's kind of useless unless you're constantly drawing songs, and in that case you're probably more dead than alive, even with this thing being in hand. So I both see point to Charlet, but at the same time, with that point being in mind, you will most likely be dead by the time this happens. I don't know how other people build their song builds. I typically run all the orders at 2. And it's not really too crowded unless you're one of the few players that the deck seems to hate. But 2 of maybe. I don't really think I would run her though, because she's kind of situational. Then we have Lifesaving Angel Digriel, grade 1 boost to 5k shield, 8k base, auto back or rearguard circle. When your other unit in the same column as unit stands by effect, you may return this unit to hand. Interestingly enough, this is our first card from DBTO5 that isn't Blaster Blade, that we know the skill of, and is a double rare. So now we can take this 2 ways. 1, this could be perfect for premium, and they just chose to make this a premium card. 2, this is okay-ish for Bastion. I still want to run this for Bastion just because of grade 3 drive check, and I have been proven to be right on that front so many times that at this point it's not even worth trying to prove myself right. But also we are getting a Keter Sanctuary, or whatever they're gonna call it, dual nation card. So I'm assuming that, just off assumption, that one's gonna either focus on superior calling to board, unless Blaster Blade does that, or, because that's not what any Keter Sanctuary deck does now, minus PBD to some extent, or it's going to be a deck that can restand more than Bastion somehow. So I have faith in seeing what Digriel can do, because we have Bastion to guess off of, but I don't think they're getting support in the set, or we could possibly be getting really lucky with the dual nation cards, and considering this thing's a double rare, I'm assuming it's the dual nation card that's going to have a restand ability, so I will give this thing a 3 of. Then we have Excavating Dragon Veteran. Whoa, wait, let me run that. It says when your other unit. I cannot think of many Royal Paladin cards. Shadow Paladin. Okay, well, I can think of a few Shadow Paladin cards. I can think of very few cards. I know there are some in each nation, but I can think of very few that could restand the Vanguard. Because it says unit. So I'm assuming that's what the Keter Sanctuary card's going to do, the dual nation one. It's going to be a restander of Vanguard. Bet, right now. I'm willing to guess it, or it's going to have some ability to restand itself on Van, because they wouldn't say unit and make this a double rare otherwise. I might be reading way too much into this, but I'm 95% sure I'm in the right here. Unless this is made for Blaster Blade, but I'm pretty sure they would have made something else a double rare. Then we have Excavating Dragon Variodignir. What is with them and naming the things with ear? Grade 3 Twin Drive Persona Rack 13k base. Auto rare at the end of the battle that this unit attacked. Shove it to soul. Choose one of your rearguards, gets +5 for the turn. Gets a soul. Gets 5 for free. I think Tribash is arguably better just because Tribash gives a crit. But even though Tribash kind of requires something else to swing, I believe. But I can definitely see this. There's an option. This can get more power. Tribash can give more crits. I do like Tribash's art more than I like this thing's art, but I still think they're both pretty cool. It's up to you on which one you want to run. I do not suggest running both of them in the same deck, but I will give this thing a hot 2 over 3 of, like I give my Tribash a hot 2 over 3 of, depending on how you choose to see it. And now to wrap up with some majorly really good reveals. So first up we have, our first dual nation cards will be the Bioroid units. So Rorowa. Probably got those wrong. So first up, our starter is Bioroid Youth Rorowa, grade 0 boost, 5k shield, 6k base. Auto is wrote upon if you want second draw card. I remember this card. It's the card that's normally with the Dragritter girl. I'm surprised that it's the starter of the group, but it actually is. I imagine it more as a grade 1 or grade 2. But we have a grade 1 version of it, which is
Awakening from Slumber, Rorowa. Grade 1 boost, 5k shield, 8k base. Auto, when it's placed on Vanguard Circle by riding from Bioroid Youth Rorowa, call to one plant token rearguard to your back row center. So plant tokens have returned. That's really good for a lot of people who like plant tokens. I definitely think they're gonna end up making token units eventually, and it's really nice how they're returning it now in D. And then Glitter. This card is in Glitter, which seeks the fire regalias. We don't know what Glitter is. I mean, they didn't say anything about what glitter was, or at least I didn't figure out what anything glitter was. So if you know what glitter is, explain it. I'm assuming it's like if you have a unit with someone so on the board, this thing becomes in the glitter state. So if you have a fire regalia on the board, this card becomes in glitter based off of later cards that I will reveal. So all around, this thing looks really good. Unfortunately, it might have no use outside of Vanguard Circle, so for now it's a 1-of, but at the same time glitter could be really interesting, and I know we have at least one fire regalia, so I'm willing to give it a few copies in deck. Then we have the world 3,000 years later, Rorowa. Also, I find it interesting that these cards are not dual nations, but I know we got one dual nation card. Grade 2 intercept 5k shield, 10k base. Auto is placed on Vanguard Circle, retire one of your rearguards, call to 2 plant tokens to Rearguard Circle. Cool, so now we have, when you ride from this, you can kill that plant token on back row center, and then get a column of plant tokens to swing with your opponent later with. And then Glitter, this card is in Glitter, which seeks the fire regalias as well. So another card with Glitter, another card with an interesting Vanguard skill, just an easy to plant tokens, basically arranging your board. All around, I think Rorowa is, both in terms of arts and in terms of skills, is very interesting, and I kind of can't wait to test this out. And if I didn't have to do something very important today, I would spend my entire day testing this out. So we will go with 1-of in the main deck. 1-of in the right deck for now, and maybe 2-of in the main deck, just depending on what glitter happens to be if I'm right about my theory. Then we have our main grade 3 of the group, which looks fucking amazing. I really wish this was a bow. If it's a bow, I will cry, but I don't think it is. For one's precious thing, Rorowa. Grade 3, Twin Drive, Persona Ride, 13k base. Act, Vanguard Circle, once per turn. Soul Blast 1, call 3 plant tokens to rear. God damn, yes. Just a Soul Blast 1, get 3 plant tokens, not some overcomplicated bullshit like Main of Trailing Roses, where I think you have to do the same thing, but then if you had like certain things, the whole front row gets plus 10 or something. Or no, all the plant tokens will get plus 10. Or 5. It's just a simple Soul Blast 1, get 3 plant tokens. Not that hard, which is really nice. And then Auto Van, when this unit is attacked, retire 1 or more of your plant tokens, and it gets plus 5k power until end of battle for each unit retired for this cost. And it's not a once per turn, and it's not Vanguard attack restricted, which means you could sack 1 plant, so which means you can fill up a whole board of plant tokens, and then you can just go kill 2 plant tokens, boy becomes 23, so an attack of like 22 or less won't hit now. You could sack the remaining 3 on the other rearguard attacks, and it's a 15, then just take the Vanguard. All around Rorowa seems pretty good, especially because you can literally just Soul Blast and get your plant tokens back. So that seems amazing, and if we're going to get more plant token makers, this deck's going to be really good. And then it has Glitter, which seeks out the fire regalias as well. So I think I'm right that Glitter is just like, if you have another unit of the thing on the board, it's just in the Glitter state. So Rorowa, damn, I actually like this thing. Like, I didn't think I would like any of the dual nation units except for maybe Rorowa, and I was fucking right. I cannot wait to test play this later today. Like, genuinely, I'm going to go crazy test playing this, but cool card. 4-of, hard 4-of. Then this is what our plant token looks like now. Same stats as original plant tokens, the grade 0s with boost 5k power and 1 crit. Honestly, they look interesting. I'm not going to say I like them more than the other ones, but I'm not going to say I hate them more than the other ones too. I'm kind of in the middle with it. I do think it's interesting looking because it looks like a human. Then we have Momokke, grade 0 boost 5k power, another token, and this kind of looks like the starter from Blade Master, or one of the starters from Blade Master. This represents a Momokke token and cannot be put into the deck. Act Rearguard Circle once per turn, retire one or more of your other rearguards, and this unit gets plus 5k power till end of turn for each unit retired for this cost. So, possibly... Oh, by the way, look at that! Stoic K, a dual nation card, so if you manage to call this thing's like a 20k swinger, or 25, it could be a 25k swinger. And Glitter, Rorowa, activate if your Vanguard is a Glitter with Rorowa in his card name. So basically, you need a Fire Regalia on your board, so this hit gets in Glitter, and then this will get in Glitter. So basically, convoluted bullshit skills. Okay, fair enough. And then continues Rearguard. If you have a unit with Radylina in its card name in the same column as this unit can attack from back row. So, now we have a back row attacker. I don't know if this deck's gonna need a back row attacker, but I think it's very interesting that they gave us access to a back row attacker so early in the game. Either way, I think this thing's really good. And, you know, token-wise, I think 3 of for now, or maybe 1 of, because there's only one way I know how to summon these tokens, and that is with Dragritter Girl of Flame Blossoms Radylina. Act Rearguard Circle, upgrade to intercept 5k shield 10k base. Act Rearguard Circle if you do not have a if you do not have a Momokke token, counterblast 1, and call to 1 Momokke token on rearguard. So simply put, if this is not on your board, counterblast 1, get a copy. I also like how, like, their glitter abilities, they have, like, a really cool green text box, and their normal abilities are in white. Seems really cool to me. And then Glitter Rorowa, active if your Vanguard is Glitter with Rorowa in its card name. I'm assuming, I do not know, but I am assuming this thing is a Fire Regalia, because otherwise it would make no sense for this thing to be released along with it. So I'm assuming this is a Fire Regalia, which means these will become in Glitter, then you can use this thing and to call this thing, and then this will be in Glitter and shit like that happens. And then auto rear, when this unit attacks, Soul Blast 1, choose one of your token units in the same column as this unit, and this unit gets the power of that unit until the end of battle, includes increased values. Basically what I want you to do is call Momokke, use Momokke, sack 3 plant tokens from this thing's skill, and then this thing becomes a 20k swinger. Swing with it from back row because you are probably in Glitter, which, by the way, I find funny. I think Glitter is a combination of whatever the last skill is. So basically, you cannot use this skill without using this skill. But swing with Momokke token, and then swing with Vanguard, get your triggers, whatever. Or no, swing with Vanguard first, get your triggers, shove them on the token, swing with token, get numbers, and then swing with Radylina, skill Radylina, Soul Blast 1, get power to this thing. This deck is definitely going to need Soul Getters, which means we're going to need Tearing Malice, which means we can spam Counterblast users, because none of these cards so far, except for this one, have any cost of Counterblast related. So all around, I think these cards look really cool. They have some really interesting skills. They got some really good mechanics. If I'm right about Glitter, I cannot wait to see more cards like this. And literally the second I get the chance, I am building a fucking deck around this, because this seems amazing as hell. So I'm ending here. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tell me down in the comments what you guys think about this, because I'm very curious about other people's opinion. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join to the Patreon, join Discord, follow the Twitch, and I'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to stand up your Vanguards.